Right. Hello everyone. Welcome to the 50k Q&A special that I've been planning on making. Um, this video is going to be quite different from, well, any other video I've made, really. First of all is, usually I have a script that I work on and then read. Obviously this one, there's not really a script that I can have. I really just look at questions and answer them. So yeah, you're gonna be hearing a bit of old casual me. This is going to be a much more casual video, which I think is the point of a Q&A. I want to make this seem like I'm just sort of having a conversation with you guys, kind of just chilling in the same room as you, I guess. And because of that, there's going to be as little editing as possible. I might just, I don't know, cut out a few bits and pieces of unnecessary thinking or I say a lot actually. Um, Point proven. But yeah, I guess we'll try to make this some sort of Q&A special. I must warn two things beforehand though. Like I said, there's going to be very little editing in this video. I guess I'll have something in the background running, a video, racing games or something, I don't know. I think you guys like racing games. But this is mostly the type of video you want to listen to while you do something. So, boot up, a game you like, go do some chores, do your homework. Don't listen to me while doing your homework, that's a terrible idea. And yeah. Now, because of the fact that I'm not going to be editing anything, I feel like I should warn you guys that I have two birds. If you know the channel, you'll know this. Or if you know it for a long enough time. I've got one right next to me, to my left, and another one to my right. So if you guys hear anything funky during recording, that's that. The amount of times these bastards have made me have to cut out or redo, recordings. Because I'm speaking and suddenly a bird decides to chirp. It is infernal. I'm not going to put up with that right now. I'm just gonna talk. And if he talks, he's a welcome guest. Alright, so, without further ado, let's get on to the first question. I'll be doing this in chronological order, which comes from Z-chan, which asks, what's your favorite initial D stage? I've had like a week to read these questions and I still haven't really thought of the answers for all of them, so spare me some slack. Initial D stage, probably stage... Probably stage 1, to be honest. It's the classic, you know. I didn't really like Initial D after stage 3, if you want me to be completely honest. It felt kind of boring, repetitive. There was very little character development. All the races felt very samey. The only standout races I can think of from stage 4 and 5 are God Hand, Godfoot, and of course the Shinigami and the final race. But aside from that, yeah, I honestly feel Initial D should have ended at stage 3. Also, I'm sidetracking from the question. Expect that a lot. I tend to do that. I just go on and on. It's like James May, but worse. But yeah, favorite stage? Probably stage 1. Gamer Luna asks, what's your favorite and least favorite Need for Speed game? Now that's a really good timing on that question. Because, I'll be real with you, I haven't played Need for Speed that much. I played that as a kid, but I have very, and I mean very little memory of actually playing any Need for Speed as a kid. What I remember from that franchise as a kid was the Underground 1 garage, quote unquote, the car selection where the cars just slowly, drive along an underground garage. And I remember a scene at night with cops chasing you and you're just running away. I think it was Carbon. It's, like I said, my memory is mostly photographic or photogenic, whatever you call it, so I remember stuff by images. Now, aside from that, those aren't the only two Need for Speeds I've played. Back when I got into racing games and I wanted something free, I tried Need for Speed Underground 2 and The Run. The Run was okay. I got bored of it pretty quickly though. Underground 2, and this is where probably most of the war is gonna come in the comment section. It was okay, but I didn't really like it that much. It got very repetitive. The game feels very dragged out. So yeah. Now, I did say that was a very well-timed question. Now that's because I've been talking with a friend and he's been streaming games every once in a while. And he's been streaming for I tend to stutter over myself sometimes, sorry about that. He's been streaming some Need for Speed games every once in a while. And one that he streamed that I really enjoyed, even just from looking at it, even though I haven't played, was Pro Street. Pro Street, I think, is a Need for Speed that I would really enjoy playing if I ever got around to doing it, but I haven't because I'm lazy. Also, Most Wanted, he streamed a little bit of that. I thought it was okay. The storyline is cheesy as hell, but I like that. Now, least favorite, without a shadow of a doubt, Need for Speed 2015. Honestly, any Need for Speed after 2015 was really bad in my opinion, but I've only played and really looked at 2015, and that felt terrible. I honestly think that was the worst racing game I've ever played. Need for Speed 2015. Right, moving on. The Shy Dragon asks, or actually comments, finally, Moai Face, congrats on 50k. Edit, I'm dumb and put 5k instead of 50k. Edit 2, it's a Q&A. Yes, it is. What do you think about the Peugeot RCZ? Give me a moment to look that up. Oh, it's this car. I'll probably end up putting an image on the screen if you want. I like it. It's a cool car. It's shortly around the time, like, before Peugeot started to become quite boring in my opinion. I like the pre-facelift RCZ a lot more than I like the, well, facelifted RCZ. I just really like that, you know, mid-2000s, early 2000s Peugeot look. I think it's really cool and fancy. I also like about this car that it looks quite sporty, and it honestly looks like a mid-engine coupe, but if my memory serves right, it's a front-wheel drive, so I think that's really cool. Paolo G comments, congratulations, Burple. For the Q&A, is that something that you're currently into that haven't shown on the channel yet? Give us some previews. I'm not sure what you mean by previews. There are stuff I'm into that I haven't shown on the channel. I play a lot of FPS games, stuff like, well, as of late, Borderlands 3. I like Star Wars, I play some Battlefront as well. But stuff that I'm currently into. Oh yeah, Lego. I really like Lego, and I recently got very into Lego. It's been a childhood hobby of mine, and I sort of came back to it. Though I don't think there's any previews that I can give you regarding content for my channel, because I don't really plan on doing content of those things on my channel. I'd like to stick to mostly racing games, but who knows, I could throw in a few wildcards here and there. I mean, I did upload a Halo video and like 3 or 4 Touhou videos, so yeah. Jack Tadema, I'm so sorry by the way. I'll try to pronounce everyone's names right, but my pronunciation can't always be right. Jack Tadema asks, how do you feel about the current trajectory of the Need for Speed series as a whole? It's shit. I'll be real with you. I think it's going downhill, much like most games nowadays, honestly. I think there's not much effort being put into them, and especially the Need for Speed franchise has lost its touch. I think they need a very long break before they upload their next title to get their stuff together, because especially now that I've like looked at old Need for Speeds recently, like they've completely lost touch. Even gameplay wise, the games look terrible. Like the old ones, they did arcade, but it seemed like they did arcade right. The new ones, they just feel, yeah, they're arcadey and they're very arcadey, but they feel like they did that in a very wrong way. It's hard to explain. Now, Palpatine the Senate Hog asks, says, there he is, he's still alive. Okay, real talk, I'll finish the comment. Why do people comment that so much? There he is, he's still alive. Like, I go without uploading like 1 month, maybe a week or something, and people say like, oh, he's still alive. I know I did after the initial D86 video, not initial, the Horizon 4 86 video, I took a really long break from YouTube, but I've been uploading semi-consistently, not consistently, I'm anything but consistent with my upload schedule, but semi-regularly every few months. Like, why do people still ask me if I'm still alive? I even had that, like, uploading a week after a video or something like that. That's, I don't know, such a weird comment to get. Yeah, jokes aside, do you ever plan on bringing back the initial D character videos because you never finished all of them? Like Satoshi or Okuyama, and if not, then why? If you really like those initial E videos so much, you should know that I mentioned that I was done with them because not only was I completely burnt out on those types of videos, but I did every one that I wanted to do. I set out to do every character and ended up doing nearly every character because the ones I didn't do were, quite frankly, too boring or just didn't have enough material in the series to warrant a video all for them. Azist asks, what kind of content are you going to upload in the near future? I don't know, man. I really enjoyed making my Gran Turismo 4 video, and I also always have a really good time doing videos like the Evolution one or the Forza Horizon 3 Ode to Speed, like, you know, cars going fast with cool music. I like that. They're fun to make and they're fun to watch. I don't know, but I can give you a little teaser on what I've been working on and will hopefully come out next month if I can get my act together. And that is, I'm going to be uploading something that this channel has not seen yet. It's a very different type of video to anything I'm done. I'm currently experimenting with a few stuff, so yeah, hopefully you guys will like that. Actually, I'm sure you will. Metro Gaming 75 says, congratulations, and what do you think of the Midnight Club Racing Series? Sorry for the extremely short answer, but I don't know. I haven't really looked into those games that much. Actually, I know next to nothing about them. Dr. Ego Man Gaming asks, have you enjoyed your content you've put out for us to watch? That's a very interesting question, and I think that depends on your definition of enjoyment. Sometimes, when you upload stuff, especially series, like the initial D videos that I used to make or the Horizon guides, they're, well, as you would with anything that you repetitively do a lot, you kind of get burnt out. It's not to say that I haven't enjoyed them. The process of making them can be a little tedious sometimes, but once they're out there on YouTube, like, yeah, I enjoy them. I can say though that towards the end of the initial D videos, and I'll be completely honest here, I didn't enjoy making them. I mostly just wanted to get it over with, and yeah, that's also another reason why I ended the the series. I do not own the franchise, quite the opposite. Now, in terms of content that I've enjoyed putting out, making, and, watching the finished product as it's done, yeah, I have done that quite a lot. Actually, it's what I've been doing lately. As of late, I don't think there's really been any videos that I put out that I didn't enjoy. I've mostly decided that as much as I want to do this for you guys, I also need to do this a little bit for myself as well. I need to have fun putting the content out. Otherwise, it's going to affect the content's quality, and indirectly, it's going to affect you guys as well. After all, it's mostly a hobby for me. YouTube, that is. I don't do it professionally or anything. Kotel098765 asks, did you watch Wangen Midnight? If you did you like it? No, I didn't watch Wangen Midnight, and yeah, I can't watch that other question. Answer that other question, I mean. I'm not into street racing that much, especially like highway racing. Toge racing is fun in its own right, I guess, but highway racing is just not for me at all. Akai Okami asks, are you going to do more videos in the same vein as your Gran Turismo is the holy grail of racing video games video? Anything in mind? Yes, I am, and I do have one game in mind. The bad news is that I only have one game in mind, but we'll see as we get there. Cesar Philippe asks, which of your videos are you the most proud of? I don't know. That's also a really good question. If there's a video to be proud of, it's those long ones that I usually upload, that I, take some time to upload. But which I'm the most proud of? I don't know, man. I really enjoyed my latest one, the Gran Turismo 4 one, and I see that it's doing very well with you guys as well, with the algorithm and all, so I guess I'll go with that. It felt like as much as it felt like me sharing my opinion, it also kind of felt like I was sharing something with you guys as well. I'd like to think that, I don't know, that video helped someone discover a good way to spend their time. So I guess I can be proud of that. Ubik the car guy says, this is a really long comment. What are some good channels that you would recommend that are smaller than you? I'm afraid I don't really have an answer for you. I don't really know what you mean by good. Because that varies from person to person. I know a few good small channels, but it's mostly for stuff I like, not stuff you guys like, I think. Car channels, for example, I don't really watch that many, especially like video game ones or review ones. Yeah, you've caught me completely off guard there. I have no idea how to answer that. And second question, why are you Brazilian? I'm not, I'm Portuguese. Sock Wyvern, what? I don't know how to pronounce that word, Wyvern. I know what it is, it's like a dragon looking thing, but Wyvern? Wyvern? Whatever. Purple, if give the chance, what car from Horizon 4 would you use as a daily driver? I don't know why you have to make it specific to Horizon 4. God, now I'm gonna have to remember if this car even is in Horizon 4. Fuck it. Lancia 37. That's a safe pick. I love that car. Critchell asks, why you find the Forza Horizon 4 PI system broken? I think it is well balanced. Critchell, I have a very long video on that, if you want the answer. I don't feel like giving a TLDR right now. Luis Pereira asks, what do you dislike the most about YouTube as a content creator? That's also a really good question. Let me lean back on my chair all thinking like and give you the answer. Squeak. YouTube as a content creator. Well, what I dislike about YouTube is how it doesn't reward effort directly. And what that means is, it kind of sounds like I'm coping here, but I'm speaking for myself as much as I am speaking for others, and I've been on both sides of the fence. If you put a lot of effort into something, a lot of effort and passion and all that into uploading a video, there's really no guarantee how well it'll do. And if anything, it might just lose out like drastically to making, I don't know, flavor of the month meme stale video that sucks and is completely soulless. So I guess that's one thing I really dislike about YouTube. It doesn't really reward passion, effort, and originality. It just sort of teaches you to, follow the herd, adapt to trends and stuff. I also dislike that a lot in content creators actually. Sometimes you can look at a channel and it doesn't really feel like you're watching a person. It mostly feels like you're just watching someone. It's like you're watching an algorithm, like churning out videos depending on what's trending. It's sad, honestly. Indigo says, hi Purple, what's your favorite non-racing game to play right now? I'm sort of looking for something new. First of all, Indigo, if you want non-racing games to play, I'm not sure if I'm the best answer, because knowing you, you play on a PS4 if I'm not mistaken, and I mostly play on computers. Um, Favorite non-racing game to play right now? I've been playing a lot of Borderlands, mostly, well, not mostly, the entire franchise. I've been sort of switching back and forth between the games. I've also been playing a lot of Star Wars Battlefront 2, the original one, Star Wars Empire at War. If you can't tell, I've been in quite a Star Wars mood. I also recently started to play Fallout New Vegas for the first time, and recently I played a little bit of Metal Gear Rising for the first time. So those are games that I've played somewhat recently, which I enjoyed. If you really want advice, or rather recommendations from me in specific on video games to play, and you really want to put effort into doing so, you can go check any previous video. Usually for soundtracks for videos, I use video game soundtracks from video games that I like, so if you have a look in the description, I'm sure you'll find stuff like, I don't know, Mother 3, that's a very good game, Earthbound, equally good game, though I prefer Mother 3. What else? Command and Conquer, that's also another franchise that I really like. Halo, of course, Halo is really good. Yeah. 71W Voice asks, why do I remember you having more subs? I don't know, man. Lord Phil 2.0 says, huge congrats for hitting 50k, bro. Thank you. Now the question, what was the reason to choose Broken Shingle as a profile picture? God. I've considered removing him, Broken Shingle that is, but I kind of want to keep it. It's the one bit of my old channel that I sort of wish to keep. As for Broken Shingo and why, I don't know, I remember looking at the frame, that exact frame, unedited on Initial D, with just a faraway Shingo resting his chin on his hands, just contemplating life, all smug like in the distance, and finding it was really funny, so I put it on Discord and I used that bot, not so bot I think it's called, dot magic, boom, Broken Shingo, and I thought, holy shit, he looks like he's in a scrunched up clown car, and I just made it my profile picture. Vermelho FZ asks, I have 2 questions. What's your favorite era of F1, and if you can own an F1 car, what would it be? By the way, congratulations on 50k subs, you hamburger. Why am I a hamburger? Whatever, this guy's always been so fucking weird. What's your favorite era of F1? That's easy. 2005 to 2008 is what I think is the absolute golden era. But from 2009 to 2012 were also some pretty good years. And obviously the 90s and 80s and all that were also pretty good. But in my opinion, 2005 to 2008 is where F1 was at its peak. Oh, I almost skipped your second question. If you can own an F1 car, what would it be? Well, I guess I'd own my favorite F1 car, which would be the BMW Sauber F1.08 from 2008, obviously. Specifically Kubica's one, because he rocks. Combat Tenet Cat asks, favorite rally drivers and courses? As much as I like rally, I don't follow it super closely. My favorite rally driver, however, is and has always been Henry Toivonen. I think he was taken from us way too soon, and the stuff he could do behind the wheel was just amazing, man. When it comes to courses, favorite one is Portugal, Faf, but that's very biased, obviously. I do like Finland a lot, though. Finland is really cool. I love the jumps and high-speed nature of it. Also, Monte Carlo is obviously very nice as well. Hot Pink Frying Pan asks, best 4, 5, 6, 8, and 10 cylinder engines in your opinion? Ooh, that's gonna require a bit of thinking. Okay, best 4-cylinder is easy. The best 4-cylinder, in my opinion, is the B16, forgot the names, but specifically The 1.6 liter one that got, I think they raised the displacement. It's the spoon tuned one that revs to like 11k. They raised the displacement, if I recall correctly. So it's technically a 1.6 that was turned into a 1.8. Yeah, that's my favorite 4-cylinder. 5-cylinder, don't really know them that well, but I'll go with the one in the S1E2, the Audi, I mean, the Group B one. 6-cylinder is easy, the Dino V6 that powers the Ferrari Dino V6 and the Stratos. I think that's the best sounding 6-cylinder of all time. 8-cylinder, now this is where I am gonna throw a little bit of a curveball and say the F1 engines from 2006 to 8 in specific. I think those engines sound amazing and I honestly like them more than the V10s. Now, which one in particular? If you want me to be completely honest, I'm not sure. I think I really enjoyed the BMW one though. I think that was my favorite. And 10-cylinder, I think, I don't know. 10-cylinder. I'm obviously thinking of F1 engines right now as well because there's no other way to go if you mention 10 cylinders. You know what? I think I'll go with the BIR 10-cylinder. I think that one sounded great. Mr. Dorifto asks, which is your favorite GTA game? I didn't play GTA that much. Mostly I played 5. It's really the first GTA that I properly picked up. I used to try to play San Andreas as a kid, but I didn't really understand anything, so to me as a kid GTA was just like walk around, steal cars, get chased by cops. And I obviously got very bored of that. Yeah, I only played 5, so I guess I'll have to go with 5. I know. Wow, he hasn't played San Andreas recently, or 4. Shit, YouTuber. Jose Freres says, congrats on 50k. My question is, what now? I.e., any idea of what to do since Forza Horizon 4 is cring? Like I said earlier, we'll have to wait and see. Yeah, I really don't know. I'll be experimenting with a few things. And you guys will see, I guess. Zem says, first of all, great content, thank you, Zem. Secondly, what got you into racing? Into racing. That depends on your definition of racing. When I was young, actually no, yeah, not young. 2017, I was taken to a hill climb event. I didn't care about cars or racing. I thought the cars there were cool. I like the noise, the loud engines going through the forest. I guess that's what got me into racing. But if you mean like actual like modern day motorsport and so on, I went to a rally and I really enjoyed it. So that's what got me into rally racing. It was the 2017 rally, the Portugal, I think, or 2018. I think it was 2017. Yeah. Now, when it comes to circuit racing, I don't recall how I really got into it. I think I watched a Jimmy Broadbent video on Project Cars 2, and he was racing 50s 50s F1 cars in Old Spa, and I saw Eau Rouge and I thought, wow, that is an insane corner, and I want to know more about this. So I got into vintage F1, then I got into modern F1, and then I just sort of got into, well, circuit racing as a whole, and that's where I am right now. AVS asks, how do I become based like you? Just be yourself, man. Bob Spazoid asks, why are you gay? I am not. Stick Shift Squirrel asks, what Civic is best Civic? Smiley face. Oh, and right after that, someone named AXL2304 asks, favorite generation of Civic, so I guess I'll answer you guys both. My favorite Civic is the EG6. I know, shocker, but I just love how the thing looks. However, if I can cheat a little bit, my favorite overall Civic is the Spoon EK9. I love that thing so much. It's seriously like almost a dream car. It's beautiful. Emperor Doge 123 Alt, I don't know why you're using an alt, asks, what are your top 5 racing game intro cinematics? You know I'm just gonna I'm just gonna answer with a bunch of Gran Turismo, like, right? I don't really look at cinematics that much for racing games, I mean, because all the good ones are old, and old racing games, there's a lot of them, alright? And I'm only really, right now, hardcore into Gran Turismo 4, though I obviously love all the other Gran Turismo games. Let's see, so number 1 is obviously Gran Turismo 4's. I think that's one of the best video game intros of all time, period. Second place. I quite liked Gran Turismo 5's, to be honest. I think it was great. Third place, probably Gran Turismo 2. Then fourth place, I saw like a Ridge Racer one. This is completely off of like left field, I know, but someone posted like a video game intro on my server. It was a guy in like a no brand car that looked like a Ford GT just racing in a highway, and then he picked up a girl at the end. I think that's it. That one was pretty cool, I thought. And number 5, I guess Gran Turismo 3. More specifically the one with, what was the song? I forgot which version it was. I think it was the European one, for Gran Turismo 3 in particular. Oh, and by the way, needless to say, for both Gran Turismo 4 and 2, the Japanese ones are the best. Moon over the castle. Paigey says, we're just here for GT posting. Thanks, I like putting out GT content. Initial We asks, still a Strato simp? Yes, always. That car is beautiful. Farouk asks, where are you from? I'm from Portugal. There are quite a lot of videos on my channel filmed in Portugal. I get that not everyone watches my videos, like every single video that I've uploaded, but it still surprises me that I get that question, and it even surprises me more that I've got like people who see like one little spot of Portuguese on my videos and they just go, oh, Brazil, mano, where. Like, I don't know what it is with Brazilians, but every time they think someone is Brazilian, they just want to know if he's Brazilian or not. I have never seen that with any other nationality. And it's stuff like as well, like, I had a couple of years ago, someone told me, and I agree wholeheartedly, when a Brazilian joins a server, he likes to make it very clear that he is Brazilian, and he's always searching for other Brazilians as well. I don't mean this in any ill way or anything, but can any Brazilian just like please explain this to me? Like, why does this happen? Why? Savior's Law asks, this is the most random question you'll be asked. What do you edit with? I don't think that's all that random. Believe it or not, when all I did was add text to videos, I used Windows Movie Maker, because I had no idea how to edit. Now I use Sony Vegas, but I'm not sure if I recommend it, to be honest. I heard quite a lot of people say Adobe Premiere is better, so it's really up to you. All I can say though is all those like free phone apps for editing are absolute dog shit. Snakearm 3000. What is the hardest meal you can cook without getting food poisoning? You've put me on the spot here because I don't have to cook very often. And as such, I'm not all that good at doing it, and I don't know how to do it all that well. Hardest meal I can cook. I guess I can, I don't know, cook some rice and grill a steak or something. I guess that's something I can do without poisoning myself. Oh god, how the hell do I pronounce this? Kiel asks, you prefer cars with turbo/compressor or natural aspirated in games and real life? Both in games and real life. It's not like I've driven proper turbo cars yet. My parents own an estate and I've driven that a few times. Modern estate, it's a diesel with a turbo. But yeah, aside from that, haven't driven anything with a turbo. But the answer is NA. I love to hear an engine rev high and scream its lungs out, you know? It's beautiful to me. Aeterna Soul asks, Do you like eggs? Yeah, I mean, scrambled and omelets are great. The rest are meh, in my opinion. But seriously, do you have any regrets from the initial D Future Stage series you did? Um, the Future Stage sub-series, I guess we'll call it that in particular, is probably the one that I had the most fun making. The rest were kind of boring. Though, I'll be real with you, I hated the Hot Wheels DLC. I thought it was so shit. It's just a long, high speed, like straights and turns, and there's barely any corners. No, I have no regrets. I don't have regrets from anything, period. Like any video that I uploaded, I have nearly zero regrets. It's in the past, it happened. I think looking back at them, some of it is cringe, yeah, but it's not who I am anymore, so I don't think you should. I don't think I or anyone should really care about what happens in the past. It's in the past. Jacob Matthews asks, what is your favorite launcher? I don't know. I'm serious. I can't pick between the 037 and the Stratos. It's always been like this. I'll have days where I say, oh no, it's the 037 for sure. And then I'll wake up the next day and just think, oh no, I love the Stratos. I'll take that over an 037 any day. So I don't know. I'm genuinely at a loss for words for that one. Dr. Doshiba, no, Sir Doshiba asks, what is your opinion about frying pans? They're useful and I really like the noise they make when you hit people. Javier Perez asks, my man is back. Which was the racing game that you played that you consider to be the hardest to beat? Gran Turismo 4. Like, let's be real here, I think. I haven't played that many racing games, yeah. Believe it or not, but Gran Turismo 4 is for sure the hardest to beat. If by beating it you mean getting 100%. Because those license tests, they're easy to pass, but if you want to get gold on them, you're done for. You're gonna be there a while because they are so hard. And also, you've got all the other stuff in the game, like the Formula GT Championship, which I haven't even completed yet, or all the endurance races. Thank God for B-Spec for that, for those endurance races, but for the Formula GT Championship, I don't think B-Spec will do the work for you. You'll have to actually drive it yourself. Vladimir Katayev asks, what is your current dream car? I saw quite a few of these questions, so I'll answer this for now. My current, straight up, purely dream car is a Gillet Vertigo. They still make them, believe it or not. If you coming here from like the Gran Turismo 4 cars, that is my current dream car. 02 asks, what do you drive in real life? I drive a Fiat 600 Sport Abarth. More specifically, the facelifted version. I'll put it up on the screen. It's yellow, it looks stock, but I say but as if I did any extreme modifications to it. I put a cold air intake and an exhaust on it. I'll put an image on the screen right now of basically what the car looks like. It looks bone stock, like it's factory color and everything. It looks exactly like that, and I love that thing. Rowie says, I love you. Blushed emoji. Thank you. RB Racing asks, what type of video do you enjoy making the most? Example giving, the MAME videos, Horizon Guide, etc. I don't know what happened to my accent there. Congrats on the 50k, dude, you fully deserve it. Party face. Thank you. What I enjoy making the most? Well, I'll tell you right now, it's not the Horizon Guides. They were fun for a while, but then they just became really repetitive and people started taking them way too seriously as well. Like I said earlier, I think all the long videos that I like really put myself into, I like to call those projects. I enjoy making projects. Stuff like, oh, what can you do to improve Forza, or why I like Gran Turismo 4 so much, those types of videos. I really enjoy making those. And like I said earlier as well, I guess car music videos, like Speedy Night. Speedy Night was surprisingly fun to make. Ode to Speed, Group B, Too Fast to Race, Evolution, those types of videos. Apenas nome de canal asks, If you haven't bought your first car yet, you could update the last list of better Miatas you did, and explain why the answer is Fit/Jazz 1.5 MT. I'll be real with you, I have no idea how to answer that, if that even is a question. I don't even remember what my list was. But I think the Fit/Jazz 1.5 liter with a manual transmission is a pretty fun car. It's a peppy little car. Oli440 asks, who is your favorite rally driver competing in the WRC today? Congrats on 50k, excellent content as always. Smiley face, thank you. Favorite rally driver competing in the WRC today? I'll be real with you, I don't follow WRC that much. When it comes to motorsport, I mostly follow F1. Like, I only really pay attention to rally when something big happens, or I don't know, when it's on TV, or when it's in Portugal, obviously. With that said, I don't know. Danny Sordo seems alright. People like him here, I guess I'll like him too. I don't have much of an opinion, sorry. Ender Gamer asks, Touhou Eurobeat or Classic Super Eurobeat? Easy, Touhou Eurobeat. I love that so much. I love how aggressive it is compared to Super Eurobeat, and I love the vocalists. Root, I think is his name, Rute, and Aki are my two favorite Eurobeat vocalists, so any song where both of them are in it are my favorite as well. Kevin Fazbear asks, hey Purple Guy, are you excited for Forza Horizon 5? 4 has come out 3 years ago. 5 looks so good. No, I'm not. I think it's going to be more of the same. I'll have to wait and see if they change the game enough to be excited, because what determines if I'm excited or not is the gameplay. And so far, the gameplay looks the same, if not worse, so yeah. Bodo asks, I know this is gonna sound real cringy because funny meme song XD, but do you have any Eurobeat recommendations, especially Touhou shit? First of all, it's not cringy, and don't have that mindset, man. Just like the things that you like and don't be too obnoxious about them. Don't care about others or what they think, or yeah. Others don't dictate the quality of something you like. But without said, any Eurobeat recommendations, especially Touhou shit. Well, I have a Touhou Eurobeat playlist actually, if you go check out my channel. So I guess you can, go have a look at it. I haven't updated it in a while because I haven't been listening to Eurobeat that much for a little over a year, maybe 2 years now. But yeah, I guess you can go have a look and see if there's anything in there that you like. Because I haven't been updating it much, I can give you some Touhou Eurobeat circles that I like. So obviously you've got A1. They're the biggest one and they're great. There was one that I forgot, completely his name. Hold on. Okay, I had to look them up. NJK Records are also pretty good, though their vocals are a bit cheesy and their instrumentals are hit or miss, in my opinion. A really good Touhou Eurobeat circle is Eurobeat Union. Though they don't exclusively make Touhou Eurobeat, I love their work as well. The unfortunate thing about Eurobeat Union is that most of their songs are paywalled, so you'll have to actually pay to listen to them. You can find a few on YouTube, either channels that have somehow managed to avoid copyright or just demos of the song. They also upload demos at times, but they're really good. My favorite songs from them are Super Speedway and Monica. Those are amazing songs in my opinion. James Gosley asks, do you plan on making both Gran Turismo 4 online and Forza Horizon 5 community races? Do you plan on making other series like Enthusia, F1, Dirt Rally 2.0, etc.? And will you ever consider creating variety content instead of just sim/simcade racing? Okay, that's a lot of questions. Oh, been a sub for almost a year. Congrats on 50k Purple, thank you. That's a lot of questions. Let's answer one at a time. So, do you plan on making both Gran Turismo 4 online and Horizon 5 community races? I've been doing Gran Turismo 4 online community races in my Discord server for a while, man. You're missing out. I make them every Sunday. Well, not every. we switch games, so we don't just do Gran Turismo 4 races. But when the races happen, they're Sundays, 6 p.m. UK/Portugal time. Go translate that to your time zone. They're usually endurance races as well. So, yeah, to join, you just kind of show up, really. Join my Discord if you want any more info, I guess. Now, Horizon 5, it depends on how well balanced the game is. My main gripe about Horizon 4 when I hosted events for it is that you can't really tell if someone is cheating. And I've actually had a few cheaters in my events that I had to like kick out. So, yeah, that's a shame. If they add some sort of like control option to like control what parts people can put on their cars, it'd be great. Just to ensure that, you know, everything is as balanced as it can be. But, I don't know. I'll probably host Horizon 5 community races, but I guess the time will tell. Do you plan on making other series like Enthusia, F1, the Rowie 2.0, etc.? If by making do you mean content, maybe. I'll see. F1, I'm not gonna get 2021. I think it's a waste of money, to be honest. And I don't really know what sort of content I could make with F1 in particular, because there's already so much content out there. I don't want to make a playthrough or anything. Same with Dirt Rally. Enthusia though, that could be interesting. I guess I'll think about it later. Balkas Power asks, what is your affordable dream car and are you working towards it? So this is what I meant a while ago. He also adds, that was a nice race by the way, you should upload our 40 lap long duels if you can. I'll get around to that later. Affordable dream car. Okay, so this is what I meant earlier when I answered about my dream car. Obviously, a Gillette Vertigo is a bit of a long shot, it's 200k. Now, affordable dream car, I'll probably end up settling for an Abarth 595 Competizione in yellow. That's always been my go-to affordable dream car, and are you working towards it? Kind of. I'm putting some money on the side, but it's not, I don't think it's much or enough to really count as me working towards it. That was a nice race, by the way. You should upload our 40 lap long duels if you can. Balkas, I uploaded some highlights of Horizon 3 race, endurance race, back when I used to host those as well. I did a very long time ago. It didn't really do that well when it came to viewers though. And yeah, I don't really think most of the fanbase really wants to see that. And I don't really like uploading stuff that my fanbase doesn't want to see that much unless I'm feeling experimental. Also, our races are like an hour long and they don't always have action. I don't really want to upload them. And also, when it comes to Gran Turismo 4 online in particular, it is very, very important that your game is running as smoothly as possible, and recording software tends to get in the way of that, so I usually have as many things that could interfere with Gran Turismo 4 off. Ivan Hafani says, congrats for 50k subs, thank you. Who's your favorite Touhou character right now? My favorite Touhou character is and has been for quite some time now Sukuna Shinmyomaru. I don't know, just a character that I really like. Little midget with a needle. BJ Vlogs commented, does Forza Horizon still give you joy? If so, will you continue the Horizon Guide series? No, I'll be brutally honest with you, Horizon doesn't give me joy anymore. The races have only gotten more stale the longer the game has been out for. It's in a really it's in a really bad state right now. Horizon, the franchise as a whole, not even just Horizon 4. It doesn't give me joy because I can't get good racing out of that game. And as such, yeah, I don't think I'll be continuing the Horizon Guide series. Maybe when Horizon 5 comes out, I'll try something. I can't say I'll be making a Horizon Guide, but I'll be making a series maybe. We'll see. Cards123 comments, congrats man, question, do you watch Hot Version / Best Motoring? I don't watch as in watching it regularly, but I have had a few times where I just sat down and watched it, be it by myself or with a few friends in a voice call. So yeah, I've watched Best Motoring / Hot Version, if that's what you mean. They're great. Valentin Orsi says top 5 circuits, maybe if you wish, make it both that have been driven in F1 and those that have not. I'll just make a top 5 overall. I'm guessing you mean real life circuits because... Well, yeah, I'm guessing you mean real life because... If I could, I would add some Gran Turismo 4 tracks in there, like fictional tracks. But okay, top 5. Number 1, Algarve. Number 2, Avenisto in Finland. Number 3, Montreal, Canada. Number 4, Turkey. Turkey is pretty fun. And number 5, I guess... Oh yeah, Spa. I like Spa. It's impossible not to like Spa, let's be real here. Ethan Andrews asks, will you ever do a collab with Carmighty? Probably not. I don't even know who Carmighty is, to be honest. Denki Fried Calamari asks, can you bring back the spinning minis? There has been quite a demand for the spinning minis. I don't know if I can guarantee you that. Obviously there hasn't. I don't know. We'll see. True Gamer Hours. Congratulations on the 50k. Question. How do you feel after all these years on YouTube? Thanks for the congratulations. I feel like a normal guy. This is not like some fake humble bullshit. I'll be real with you. I just feel like a normal person. I go about my life. I still do the things I like. And I have YouTube as a hobby. I'm not famous or anything. I'm not big. 50k is not big by any means. I'm glad for the community that I have. And that's something I can tell you, I guess, is that I'm proud of the community I have. That's the one thing I can be proud of when it comes to YouTube. And it's been fun. But aside from that, not much. I just feel normal, I guess. Pablo Otero show us the Purple Pet 123. I have two, though technically one of them belongs to my mom. I can show you mine. It's a green okay, it's a long name. It's a red-bellied, green-cheeked conure, I think. I'll put a picture of him on the screen or something. The Purple Pet 123, there he is. His name is Pika, by the way. Like Pikachu, but with a C instead of a K. Brazilians, I know what joke you're thinking of making. Don't, okay? It has a different meaning in Portuguese. And here's the other one. His name is Oscar, he's loud, and he doesn't really like me that much. Yumta asks, how does it feel to be famous? I don't know. I'm not famous, I think. I'm just... It's kind of like the other person. I just feel normal. I put videos out every once in a while, yeah, but I don't really feel famous. Nor do I really want to feel famous. I think there's... Especially as you grow, I don't want to sound like the rich guy who says, money doesn't buy happiness when I'm rich. But I don't think I'm famous. And to be completely honest, the smaller the channel is, the cozier it is. It's more fun to run a small channel than it is to run a bigger one. Not big, just bigger. Yeah. I'm flattered though that you think I am famous, but I am really not. Menerx asks, ever try racing in any GTA game like 5 or San Andreas? Personally, I think racing in 5 is a mess, although racing in San Andreas is surprisingly enjoyable. And then in brackets, if you know what you're doing. Or are those commas? I always get them mixed up in English. Like I said, I only played GTA 5. The racing there, it's got the potential to be okay, I think. In paper, it's okay, as long as you disable dumb things like catch-up. But obviously when you throw the community in, yeah, it's an absolute mess, and it's honestly one of the worst experiences I've had. Though it can be really fun. I absolutely think it can be really fun. Liquid and Solid asks, first, thank you for your videos, you're welcome. Your Horizon guides have helped me to develop my own style, so you probably are the single person with the most influence in my taste of cars. Thanks actually, that's pretty big. I'm quite proud of my taste in cars, so I'm also happy to be sharing it with other people and seeing that they also like them. Having said that, what cars do you consider as timeless designs? Timeless. There have been a few that I was thinking of that I don't know the name of right now, but those mid 2000s, maybe late 2000s Alfa Romeos, they still look brand new, in my opinion. What else? I guess the Murcielago is also pretty timeless. Yeah, there's so many that I can't really think of right now, I'm sorry, but really the main one that does pop to my mind is like mid 2000s, late 2000s Alfa Romeos. I forgot the chassis name because I'm terrible with Alfa Romeo chassis names, but I think it's the 156 or the 166. It's the sedan or coupe, whatever. It's not the hatchbacks, though there have been quite a few timeless hatchbacks from Alfa Romeo as well. Oh, and also the Lotus Elise. Completely forgot about that one somehow, but yeah, the Lotus Elise is also pretty timeless. Moonman102 says, "Congrats, man. What's your opinion on potatoes? I love them. They're good." Not sure why you'd want my opinion on that, but yeah, they're pretty good. Sentient Leaf asks, "Do you plan on returning to AC videos?" Sure. It's a lot more enjoyable now that I actually have a wheel. Though, to be completely honest, my AC videos in the past didn't really do all that well, so still not entirely sure. Azux asks, or actually says, "Congratulations, Purple. I've honestly never clicked on anyone's videos as fast as yours. Thank you. I love your content and the effort you put in shows. Thanks as well. That's pretty big. Here's my question. What's your hobby outside of actually in brackets, racing games? Have a great day, bro." Alright, so you put racing in brackets, so I'm guessing you just mean my hobbies outside of racing. I love driving, obviously. I don't go out that much, especially now with the whole restrictions thing, but whenever I do go out, I really enjoy driving. My main hobby outside of video games right now, I would say it's following Formula 1, but I'm not really sure if that's a hobby, and even then I can only partake in it when Formula 1 is actually on TV. So, aside from that, I've really, and I mean really, been enjoying gym. I actually do go to the gym, and I think outside of F1, or actually, no, sorry, outside of video games, that's my main hobby right now, or the one I enjoy the most. I also enjoy Lego. I feel like I've answered this question already, but I'm not actually sure. My memory is hazy. But yeah, TLDR, aside from video games, I enjoy watching F1 and following motorsports as a whole. I really enjoy going to the gym. I also started to get back into Lego. DerryMary21 says, oh dear, that is quite a lot. Okay. "Hey Purple, Gromgrats on 50k. Anyway, I have a few questions. You can choose which and how many to answer. 1. What are your thoughts / hopes for Forza Horizon 4? My hopes is that it will be good. My thoughts are that it will be shit. Are you planning on getting Forza Horizon 5? Oh wait, yeah, I meant 5 on the previous question. I'm so used to saying 4 now. Are you planning on getting Forza Horizon 5? I probably will. Let's be real here. 3. I am in your Discord. Those events that you do, there are... Oh dear. I am in your Discord. Those events that you do there, can you give us vids about those? I already have... I think I already answered this question as well. But yeah, I already have given one video about those. So far it's kind of off the table, but we'll see. Number 4, your favorite rally car and driver of all time. Rally car, it's either the 037 or the S4, honestly. I know I said my favorite cars, my favorite launches was between the 037 and the Stradale, but I'm speaking from a... Not Stradale, oh my god, the Stratos. But I'm thinking from a road car point of view. From a rally car point of view, it's... yeah, either the 037 or the S4. And driver is obviously Henry Toivonen. 5. What are your thoughts on Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown? Sorry for my misspells and long comments. Love your vids though, keep it up, it's fine. My thoughts on Solar Crown. I haven't been keeping up much with the game, to be honest. I saw the slight teases here and there. It seems kind of like it's only going to have luxury cars, like luxurious modern cars, or at least that's what I saw so far. Maybe I'm wrong. If that's the case, I'm really not interested in it. Tofu Weasel asks, will Russell with an 11 instead of an L, or either two L's, ever get a point? I don't think so. And I think that if he does... Oh, actually, he's already gotten one for Mercedes, but I'm guessing you mean for Williams. I don't know. I don't think so. I think Latifi will get a point before him, to be honest. Russell just chokes so much. Max Chong asks, what are your thoughts on snail eating? I was going outside yesterday and I saw a tasty one. Got kind of enticed by it after seeing a clip of Esteban Ocon eating a snail after finding it on the side of the road. Extra question, why is Latifi so based? Chong, what the fuck, man? I've never eaten a snail. Actually, my dad and my grandpa eat snails every once in a while. Well, very rarely, actually. I think it's a tradition on the part of Portugal that they come from. But I think it's gross, personally, and I would never eat a snail. Fucking Esteban Ocon eating a snail, I swear to God. Extra question, why is Latifi so based? Because he is going to score points before George Russell. Or at least he's going to score more points than George Russell, that's why he's based. Benjamin Zarkin asks, when did your passion for motorsports begin and how did you get into it? For motorsports, I've already said this, but it really depends because there's so many branches of motorsports. I think personally my passion for motorsports began when I was taken to the Rally of Portugal in 2017. Or was it 2018? I can't remember. Because that awakened an interest in Group B after I accidentally found a video about it, and yeah, the rest is history. Though for circuit racing overall, my passion began when I think I stumbled upon a Jimmy Broadbent video of him driving old F1 cars in Spa in Project Cars 2. I already said that as well. I thought Eau Rouge looked pretty cool as a corner and so on. And then I also got a bunch of F1 highlight videos recommended to me, so watching those made me get interested in F1, I guess. This was in like 2017-18. Also, can you do some more rally-focused videos? Literally anything on the topic, history of the drivers and co-drivers, cars, engineering, eras and events, etc. I don't know, to be honest. I think I could. I've done a few rally videos, though it's mainly just been me driving. I don't know why you'd need a history lesson from me. I'm guessing you think it's cool to listen to me explain stuff, so yeah, thank you for that, but I'm not sure if that's the type of content that would fly with my community. I'll give it a thought, though. That is an interesting idea, genuinely interesting. Thanks for that. Your Forza Horizon 4 Lancia Delta S4 video was the one that got me into the groove of rally recently, plus getting my first wheel, the G923. Thanks, I'm surprised that video actually got you into the groove for rally. I think a lot of people see my videos and they just sort of think, okay, this isn't the car that I wanted, whatever, I guess I'll watch it. But for it to introduce people to rally, or, well, to genuinely interesting cars, I think that's so cool. Clueless Valkyrie 88 asks, 2 question, what is your favorite category of motorsport, Formula 1? 2, any plans in the future? A lot of plans, a lot of them I'm not even sure yet. A few of them I've talked about already. Walmarth, with a T and an H at the end, says, hey yo, congrats on 50k, thank you. As for the Q&A, have you played any of the... Oh my god, okay. Have you played any of the Kaido Battle / Kaido Racer / Tokyo Extreme Racer Drift or the Shutoko Battle / Tokyo Highway Challenge / Tokyo Extreme Racer games? And would you consider doing content on them? I don't know what it'd be, but I enjoy the series and it'd be nice to see it get some content. Oh, there's 3 titles because Europe and the States got a different title than the original Japanese version. Okay. Well, Marth, like I said, I don't really enjoy street racing that much, especially highway racing, so I think I'll give it a pass, to be honest. I'm guessing those games are about highway racing. I mean, I see Shutoko Battle in there, or Tokyo Highway. I also see Drift, so I don't know. I'm not into drifting all that much either, anyways. Mr. Dr. Professor, nice name, says, congrats on 50k. How do you feel about Forza multiplayer getting fixed for Horizon 5? Wait, is it? I mean, I'd be glad if it was, but I'm not sure what you mean by multiplayer. Because I think yeah, I see here. It sucks when the game crashes trying to play your Infinity Gauntlet with friends. I see what you mean here, and yes, I'd love it if that got fixed, but in my opinion, there's a lot more that needs fixing when it comes to that game's multiplayer. More specifically balance-wise, because it's just not fun. Matthew Wong says, not really a question to be answered in a video, I guess, but you shared a custom dirt track a while back, but it's only for B class. Can you make it for all classes? Look, man, I'm going to be completely honest here. That would imply me having to reinstall Horizon 4 and play Horizon 4. So, that's a no. I don't think I even can. Like, I remember trying to a while ago, but it just didn't work because that game is so fucking busted. Video Night says, can't believe it's been 3 years since your review of Forza Horizon 3 A-Class review. Those were fun videos to make. What kind of car do you drive? I already answered that, but I'll say it again. Fiat 600 Sport Abarth. Love that thing. Has everything I want in a car except for safety. And or, what LEGO series is your favorite and what series would you like to see start or have return? My favorite LEGO series is Star Wars. Though, as for your second question, I would love to see Indiana Jones make a return, or just... One thing I really, really love, but it's never going to happen, is to see, like, once a year, like 1 or 2 classic sets voted by the community would just get brought back onto the shelves, like 2007 and stuff. That would be really great, but it's never gonna happen. And if it does happen, they'll be overpriced, because that's what LEGO is. It's overpriced plastic nowadays. It's terrible, really. But yeah, Star Wars, favorite franchise. When it comes to stuff I'd like to see come back, Indiana Jones. DJ Snipes asks, do you like working on cars? If so, what is your favorite thing to work on? Example giving, mine is drivetrain and engines. I actually recently got a part-time working on cars. With that said, I don't really know much about it, though I really do intend on learning it. So far I haven't really done that much, and I'm not that knowledgeable on that topic. I'd love to be able to work on an engine, but that's a bit far off right now. So far I've only done a little bit of work on suspension and tires and stuff, but it's mostly been very, like, pathetic work, to be honest. I'm literally just getting started. Like, I changed a car's air filter, what else? Helped change the oil, water, etc. Replaced some tires here and there, but yeah, I'm mostly a mechanic helper right now in my part-time. I'll get around to it. I do really want to learn, and they are teaching me slowly. Wai Hao Chin says, hi, congrats on 50k subs, thank you. Just want to ask 2 questions. 1, do you have a job outside of YouTube? Well, I guess I answered that. I have a part-time job. 2, what advice can you give to newbie YouTube gaming content creators? That's a question I see asked a lot. Not to me directly, but I did see it asked a lot. And I think a lot of YouTubers just give such a generic, like, answer. I don't know what it is with them. They say, oh, just upload what's fun. Just have fun. Just be yourself. You know, that sort of garbage. I do agree with that. But I think the advice you want depends on what you want to get out of YouTube. Especially when it comes to gaming content. Gaming is a very difficult thing to get into, because there's a lot of channels covering it already, a lot of big channels as well. I think the main advice I can give, if your goal is to grow, is to upload stuff that hasn't been uploaded yet. I know, this sounds hard. That's because it is. Right now, not to be offensive, you're a nobody. If I look up Payday 2 gameplay and I see a video with I don't know, 50,000 views from a channel with like 100,000 subs, and I see another one with like 5 views from a channel I don't even know. I think people are more inclined to click on the one with the more views. So that's the struggle, and that's what I see people do wrong a lot, is that they follow a template instead of creating their own. I think a big reason why I was able to grow was because I don't think anyone else was doing what I did at the time. Those Horizon 3 videos with Initial D and subtitles. No one was doing that. So that's why I grew, I guess. Another big important part about growing, and I guess if you do this, you might be able to get away with not uploading original content, is upload schedule, which I clearly do not have anymore, but if you upload frequently, I think that's going to help you grow a lot. I think it helps with the algorithm, even though I'm not really sure how it works, and I'm a YouTuber, so you tell me. And another thing as well is you just need to be a person that people like. That's important. It's a lot more important to be enjoyable as a person than it is to put out enjoyable content. Because at the end of the day, no matter how many videos of like Horizon gameplay there are out there, there's only one of you. So you need to capitalize on that one of you. And you need to make yourself be the content people come for. Not the gameplay, because you might get burnt out on the game. Not anything else, not funny like seasonal memes, otherwise people won't even care about you. You need to make the channel about yourself, and you need to be the thing people come back to. I'm sorry, I think I went on a huge rant. I'm not even sure if you took anything from that. I hope you did. But yeah, I just kind of did really want to put this out there. Peter Lugnut asks, favorite rally cars besides the Lancia, or Lancia I guess. Tough question. What do I like besides Lancia? Oh my god, I know the answer, but I just stopped thinking. I like the Trabant. I'm not kidding, I like the Trabant. There are Trabant rally cars, I think that's extremely based, and I wish I could drive one in Dirt Rally. I'm not kidding, I love that thing. The Pebble Man says, huge congratulations, thank you, and the question, when will we play Touhou again? I'm surprised people want me to play Touhou. I don't know, I haven't been playing it at all recently. I still like the franchise, obviously, but this has happened in the past. I have like times where I just disconnect from Touhou and I only pick it up again after a few years, and then I really play them all. I've been working on getting a normal 1cc for every single game, and I have done that from 6 to 16. I have a normal 1cc. Other than that, I haven't played 17. I don't know, I don't think I'll be uploading Touhou again, to be completely honest, but maybe one day I'll just have a creative idea of something related to Touhou that I could do and upload it. Nismo with 2 eyes says, thank God YouTube randomly recommended this to me at 5 a.m. My dude, what are you doing up at 5 a.m? Go to sleep. I believe I know you since Horizon 3, but haven't watched any of your videos for maybe a year or so, as you uploaded quite unregularly. Gee, thanks. Question. Nissan Skyline R34 in Midnight Purple 2/3, Bayside Blue or Millennium Jade? Bayside Blue. I love the look of the R34 in blue, even though it's not my favorite. I actually think Millennium Jade is pretty underrated. It looks amazing as well. I think so as well, but I kind of just contradicted myself there. It's not an ugly color, but I don't think it's my favorite. Blodja with 2 A's, or Bloja. I have no idea how to read your name, man. I see you on the Discord all the time. I still don't know. Anyways, he asks, what are your top 3 liveries? Oh man, that is so hard. Okay, so number 1, Castrol. This is so hard because there's so many cars from different types of motorsport that I like. I don't know how to answer it. And I know for a fact that this type of stuff just changes all the time for me. I'll just answer it with my heart right now. So number 1 is Castrol. I'm talking about stuff like, I don't know, the Castrol Supra, the Castrol Celica, the Castrol Corolla. That one in specific looks really good with the Movistar blue accents. Though, oh my god. Number 2, for sure, Red Bull. But to be specific, because there's so many fucking Red Bull liveries. I mean, stuff like the early 2000s Red Bull, when it was just an actual, like, solid blue, no matte colors, no, like, weird, crazy stuff, just blue with a Bull logo on the side. Stuff like the 2002 Audi TT DTM car from Gran Turismo 4, I love that livery. The A4, the Sauber as well. I think it was Sauber. Back when Sauber used to be sponsored by Red Bull as well in like 2004 and stuff. I love that livery. Third one, this is cheating again, but Toro Rosso. More specifically like 2006 to 2008 Toro Rosso. Those liveries are my top 3 for F1. 9812, oh my god, what is this name? 9812 Krakowi Kamon Pech asks, question, which do you like the most? Rear-wheel drive, front-wheel drive, or all-wheel drive? Congrats on hitting 50k though, thank you. Front-wheel drive. Very unpopular choices, I'm sure, but there's something about front-wheel drive cars that I've always enjoyed. I don't really know how to explain it. My least favorite out of that, I know you didn't ask, but I'll say it anyways, is probably all-wheel drive. It's just so boring. Rear-wheel drive is at least somewhat interesting. Mazda Demio XD Touring 15 says, I got 2 questions. 1, least favorite car in GT4. And 2, what's your favorite color on a specific car? So my least favorite car in GT4 is probably one of the countless SUVs that game has. Stuff like the, I don't know, Audi Quattro Pikes Peak. I know it sounds like I'm talking about the 87 one, but I'm pretty sure if you look it up on Gran Turismo 4, that thing is like a concept SUV. 2, what's your favorite color on a specific car? I'm not really sure what you mean by this, on a specific car. I think yellow fits with a lot of cars, but I think each car brand has a color that represents it very well, like Ford, blue, Ferrari, red, Lamborghini, yellow, I guess, or green? I don't know. Fiat yellow. Though I think yellow, like sunburst yellow, not like the piss yellow that BMW has sometimes. I think yellow is a color that fits on every car somehow. Blue is a very second close favorite. I mean, it's a very close second favorite, I'm so sorry. Yeah, blue, but main one is yellow. RB says, congrats on 50k. This question is pretty dumb, but do you still hate modern Italian supercars? If not, what's your preference on them? What brand, if any specific car, etc.? Hate is a very strong word, which I think I used in the video when describing Italian supercars, more specifically the modern ones. I don't hate them, I just, to be completely honest with you, I find them very uninteresting and quite frankly soulless. It's just become a numbers game right now. Like, oh, check out this Ferrari 890. It puts out 1 billion horsepower. But then there's the Lamborghini, which puts out 1 billion and 2. So it's better. And then there's the Bugatti Chiron, which has like 1,000,000 mile an hour top speed. So I don't know. I think that sort of stuff is so dumb and quite honestly quite boring. Why did I speak of a Chiron? That's German/French. Yeah, I'll be real with you, there aren't really that many Italian supercars that I enjoy anymore, modern ones at least. Though I guess that would depend on your definition of modern. I do like the 599 quite a bit. The front engine one to be specific. I think it's front engined. Like I said, I don't know. There was this one front engine Ferrari which I liked. I'll leave it at that, I guess. It's from like early 2010s or something. That's as modern as I like my modern supercars. Fanatic J with 2 A's says, a question? What's your favorite era of rallying? Well, judging by your profile picture, I think you'll be delighted to know that it's Group B. You just can't get any better than Group B, to be completely honest. Chidori723 asks, what do you think of the new Z? I like it. It's a shame that it's probably going to be too expensive to appeal to the target audience anyways. Just like any modern sports cars. And then manufacturers say, people don't want sports cars anymore. No, you just make them too expensive, goddammit. Cloudy Fokken asks, small and might be stupid question. I don't think any question is stupid. Do you wait TDU3 Silver Crown? Not really, to be honest, like I said. Brushstroke asks, do you think Portugal's history is based? Yeah. I think it was based up until the point where we gave up the colonies. The African colonies. You guys can keep Brazil for yourselves, for goodness sake. I think it was kind of a dumb move, to be completely honest. But I understand they're wanting to be no more war or whatever. Oh dear, I think I'm getting political. It's NS Dominator says, congratulations mate. Which car would every JoJo character be in Stardust Crusaders? This is probably the dumbest question I've ever asked, but I'm actually curious to hear this one. Okay, dude, I know I said like a while ago there's no stupid questions. That one, it might be the stupidest question I ever gotten. I have no idea how to answer this. Who the fuck asked this question? Okay, I can tell you right now, like, Jotaro would be, I don't know, a Skyline or something. Either the R34 or R35, just because he's basic as hell and boring. I have no idea how to answer this. What the fuck? What kind of question is this? Why are you asking me to compare anime characters to cars? I don't know. No, I genuinely don't know how to answer this. I need to skip over this. I don't know. This is the worst question I've ever gotten. I'm sorry, this is the worst. I don't know what you want from me. Get the fuck away from me. I'm kidding, by the way. That's a really creative question, but I have no idea how to answer that, dude. Communist Goddess just says, ayo, you like the vegetables? Sure, they're healthy. I like them in my soup, to be specific. T. Benjamin Harry Royal asks, should I buy a PlayStation for Gran Turismo 4 or go for an emulator? Depends on your financial situation and also what you're after. If you want the authentic experience and you've got the money, I'd say yeah, go for Gran Turismo 4 and the PlayStation. If you don't want to spend any money, or if you just want to see the game absolutely maxed out before beyond what the PS2 allows, then I'd say go for an emulator. But you don't need a good PC to run it, but you need a decent PC to run it. Yeah, you need a good PC to make it look good. You need a decent PC to run the game. I personally play on an emulator because I don't really want a PS2. Electro Bezugu says, hi Purple, in the other Q&A you talked about buying your first car. Have you done it, and if so, what is it? I know I answered this, but I picked this question because he mentioned the first Q&A, and in my first Q&A, I think I mentioned a bunch of first car options, which were quite frankly very unrealistic, because their prices have skyrocketed since then. I just want to say that obviously I didn't get any of them, though I did consider stuff like the Civic. The Civic was a very strong option for a first car right now, but the thing with Civics and similar, like, I don't know, first cars or teenager cars is that, well, their owners usually just bust them up completely. I know that Civics have a reputation for being bulletproof, but even then, you don't know what that guy's been doing. He might have crashed and the suspension is all fucked up. I actually have a first car before my first car. I know this sounds dumb, but I did buy a Fiat Seicento, a red one. And it was the first gen as well, or pre-facelift version. I think it was 98 or something. And that car was completely, and I mean completely busted up by the previous owner. The suspension was all like twisted. I think I'm forgetting the name. The axle, the rear axle, and the front axle as well, were like damaged. Like, if I let go of the steering wheel on that car, it would, like, snap to the left immediately. Sometimes the wheel would just start, like, shaking violently while driving. I had that happen to me on the highway, which was quite a scare. So, yeah. I don't know why I'm bringing this up, but what I want to say is, be careful with your first car. You're not even asking me this, but I just want to put it out there. I know there's a lot of temptation to go like, oh, I want the Civic because it's a cool car. But you need to think of how many people think like that, because those cars are going to have quite a reputation among young people. And I'll speak from experience here. Young people can't drive. Like, if you just got your license, no matter how good you think you are, you don't know how to drive. You're probably gonna make mistakes. You're gonna damage the car. You might, I don't know, buy it from someone who doesn't know how to park, so he just bumped a little bit too much and now the car is fucked. There's a lot of things. So just be careful with what car you want, because there's quite a lot of hidden gems out there that are unaffected by the first car teenager epidemic, I guess. Okay, I know this is a Q&A, but I gotta read this. Pock says, this isn't a question, I just wanna sum some things. I guess you meant say, but it's okay. Heart. You don't have to force yourself to make content or anything. I like your videos either way and even rewatch them when I'm starved for content. Weird smiley face. I'm very happy you reached such an amazing goal. Thank you, I'm also very happy. That was a very nice comment. I just want to specify here, there was a time where I did force myself to make content. I'm glad you're worried about that, but I don't do that anymore. All the content I put out there, I enjoy working on, I work on out of choice, and I take my time with it, which is why I have slowed down quite a bit. It's just me doing things at my own pace. Joachim Peterson says, congrats man on the 50k, thank you. Old cars or new cars? Old cars, all the way. Though I guess it would depend on your definition of old or new, but if by new you mean nowadays, fuck no, take me back to the old ones. I want old cars with safety. Spicy Boy says, hey man, my brother and I have really enjoyed your Single Quest series, so thank you, you're welcome. My question is, will there ever be another Shingle Quest? No. Or a racing series with lore or story? I don't know. I've had a few ideas that I don't really know how I'd go about. But the short answer for now at least is a no, yeah. Davi1 Aguiar Marx 9A asks, since you made the Horizon guide, would you make a Gran Turismo guide too? That's an interesting idea, but I'm not sure I can really make a Gran Turismo guide, per se. There's simply not enough to do with Gran Turismo cars. Sure, you can tune them a lot, but I don't know, I think the cars in Gran Turismo already come pretty well balanced, so you don't really need to do that much to them to make them competitive. I'm talking about Gran Turismo 4, by the way. I'm assuming that's what you mean. If you mean sport, I do play sport, but I'm not very good at it, or, well, not good enough to offer advice, I mean. Ryan Beres asks, thanks so much for making videos, even if it's annoying or boring at times. It's not annoying or boring. Well, at times I admit, yeah, it's kind of boring to have to sit down and work on something, but it's about the pleasure of seeing it done. It makes my day every time you upload. I have some questions for you, thank you. Number 1, will you play futuristic racing games? Rev Out, Wipeout, etc. Probably not. I like cars too much to play something else that doesn't have to do with cars, so I'm sorry about that. How high does that Civic rev? How high does that Civic rev? Oh, if you're talking about the car in the Q&A video, that's not a Civic. That's a Honda Fit or Jazz, depending where you live. More specifically, the Spoon Honda Fit or Jazz. I believe it revs to like 6.5 is where the red line starts, but I'm not completely sure. It's a great car though, it's great fun in Gran Turismo 4, and it's overall just a cool car. Number 3, did you watch Rank at Midnight yet? No. 4, can you do a 360 in a race for no reason? WRC7 in brackets. I don't have WRC7, so I guess I can't, but if you want to see me do 360s, I have a video of a bunch of Mini Coopers spinning. I think that's good. Pagani team says, congrats on the 50k my lad, thank you my dude. Here is the question, what are your thoughts on the Pagani Zonda C12? I'll be real with you, all Paganis look the same to me. I'm not very interested in that brand, I don't know why. The C12, I need to actually Google that. What the hell is a C12? I don't know how to tell them apart, even. The only one I know how to tell apart is the Zonda R, or whatever its name is. A little black one that set a Nürburgring record or something. It's okay. It gives me a few early 2000s vibes, which I like, especially with the back. When it comes to Paganis, it's probably like among the better looking ones. There's a really... I don't know how to describe it, and you're probably gonna be left in the dust as to what I'm talking about, but there's a really fat one that I do not like. That's all I'm saying. I don't know the name, I don't know what year it's from, there's just... I know there's a fat Pagani which I don't like, or at least it looks fat. But yeah, the C12 is alright. NG Coxim, that's with 2 Ks, not a C and a C and a K, asks, rally or F1 or street racing? Well, I'll tell you one thing, definitely not street racing. I'll have to go with F1. Though rally is a pretty close second. It's fun. But yeah, I'll have to go with F1. JT108 says, congrats, I've watched you since you came out, thanks. Question, what's your skin color? I am white. GT Racer says, congratulations on 50k purple. My questions are, which racing series do you watch? I think I already answered this, but I'll say it again. F1, and then a little bit of rally when it's stages that interest me. And every once in a while I watch an endurance race or a touring car race when they come on. I picked this question though for the second question, which is favorite current F1 driver. Rather easily actually, Pierre Gasly, though Verstappen is a pretty close second when it comes to actually being able to challenge for wins. I really do hope he wins the championship this year because he deserves it, and Lewis does not deserve another Mickey Mouse championship. Glupwupler asks, what is one extinct racing series or class that you'd like to see come back? That's a surprisingly normal question from you, but also interesting. Extinct racing series. Well, if you want me to be completely honest, there's so many answers I could give here. I would say F1 from like 2008, but the thing about that is it's technically still F1, so I don't think it counts. Group B would be alright, I guess, but to be honest, like it's a mix-up between Group B and GT1. Like endurance racing GT1, stuff like the Toyota GT1, the Mercedes CLRs and CLKs, the Pescarollos, you know, all those cool cars. I don't know, because Le Mans right now has just entered a rule change, and it looks to be okay. It has a lot of promise for the future. Endurance racing, that is. Out of these two, Group B and GT1, I like GT1 more, so I would go with that. But if instead of going by what I like more, I go by what series needs it the most, I think Rally personally has become very stale as of late. The only thing that keeps it interesting is the fact that it's Rally and it's always fun to see cars go fast on roads that are way too tight. I think Rally needs the extinct racing series to come back. That is Group B or Group A. Group A was also pretty fun, but Group B is the one people want. I think WRC needs it more than endurance racing needs GT1 right now, so I guess I can go with GT1. I mean, oh my god, no. I guess I can go with Group B. Okay, I need to talk about this. It's not a question. Like, Bogdan Russ says, wait, no text-to-speech voice video? What is this? And where is Sans from Undertale? Did he get fired? Blah blah blah. I don't know how to play Forza without his help, man. I've uploaded so many videos without text-to-speech. I don't know why that's all you people know me for. I uploaded like God knows how many videos in a row now without text-to-speech actually. I only use text-to-speech for the Horizon guys because I'm following a format that another YouTuber invented, and that I credit as well. Like, why do people act so surprised to actually hear my voice? I've been using my mic since like 2018. Lucas Forch asks, my question is, are you feeling okay? Yes, that's it. Thanks for the question. I'm feeling great. How about you? I'm not sure if you can answer me. Leave a comment in the comment section, dude. Christopher Jamieson asks, do you know Mario Kart? Of course. I think everyone knows Mario Kart. I've never played it though. The only Nintendo console I had was a Wii, and I only played Rhythm Heaven Fever on it and a bunch of Wii party games, so Yeah. Abe the Cock, I don't know, dude. I'm butchering so many names. Says, been here a mo. Respect your opinions on Forza a lot, but my question is, what is your thoughts currently and outlook on the racing slash driving genre as a whole? Congrats on 50k, Mr. Purple. Thank you. I'll be real with you, I don't think the racing genre has been this bad, like, ever. It's in a really shitty state right now, because think about it, what is there to look forward to? Personally, in terms of good games, I think the only thing that's there to look forward to is Gran Turismo 7, and we don't even know if that's going to be good yet. And as much as I stand by Gran Turismo being a great franchise, I'll have to be real here, it's not for everyone. It should be, but it isn't. So, yeah, Horizon 5 is also coming out, so I guess that's something you could look forward to, but if you really know the developers, you'll know that it's not much to look forward to. It's just the same game, but with a bit of, I don't know, freshness added to it. I call that new fun. You think it's fun because it's new, but you just get bored of it and you realize it's the same thing. So yeah, racing genre honestly is looking pretty terrible right now. I hope it makes a comeback, because right now we have Need for Speed, which is dog shit franchise, let's be real here. We have The Crew 2, which is even worse. Project Cars doesn't even know what it is anymore. F1 has just been bought by EA, but their games haven't been good in God knows how many long anyways. It's just another yearly game. Dirt is alright. I mean, Dirt 5 was fucking terrible, but Dirt Rally 2 was good. Would have been better without like $200 of DLC. And what's there? I mean, Gran Turismo, we're looking forward to that, even though it's a PlayStation exclusive, so that also sucks. What's there to look forward to? I don't think there is anything. Like, yeah. I genuinely don't see any upcoming racing game to look forward to. Everything sucks now, Jesus. Zerocky asks, R32 best Skyline? Yes, R32 is best Skyline. R33 is a very close second though. Kiwi Rar says, congrats on 50k. I know you're a fan of Top Gear, so I'm just really curious on what your opinion of the Trio's new Amazon show is. It's great. I really enjoyed Grand Tour. Season 1 wasn't that good, but it wasn't bad either. A lot of people were sort of upset at it when it came out, I don't know why. It was genuinely entertaining. Season 2 is great. Season 3, I don't know if I watched it, to be honest. Yeah, don't ask me how I don't know if I watched something, but I don't know if I watched season 3 or not yet. But yeah, it's probably good. I mean, you can't really go wrong with those three. You could give them anything and they'd be entertaining to watch. Ryan Finier says, first things first, congratulations, thank you. Secondly, what are your top 5 or 3 if you prefer Yatabe Speed Trials cars? I don't know what that is. Let me Google this. Oh, it's that weird oval thing people keep posting. Like, I'll be real with you, I don't really like any of these. I don't really care about any of these either, so I don't really feel entitled to give an opinion on that, I'm sorry. Looking at the Google images here though, I will say there's this one Toyota 2000 which looks alright, I guess. It looks pretty cool actually. Like, genuinely looks like a race car, and I respect that a lot. God knows what they did under the hood of that thing though. Cyan asks, question, what's your opinion on Gran Turismo 4? My dude, have you seen my Gran Turismo 4 video? How do you even ask that? I think it's the greatest racing game that's ever been made, period. Should serve as a standard for any other racing game. It does everything well. It's not the best at everything, but it does everything well. And that's something that I don't think any other racing game does. A lot of people, I did notice this, a lot of people in the comments section nitpicked on it because, Assetto Corsa is more realistic, or this game has like better sounds or better physics or whatever. It's better on the wheel, it's better on the controller. Yeah, I know that. But there isn't a single racing game out there that does everything Gran Turismo 4 does in one package. There isn't. Especially in 2004 or 5 if you live outside of Japan, I guess. Even though it's the same game. I saw some people making comments about the game being released differently on states in Japan, and I just think that's dumb because it's the same game anyways, with very little changes. Jarmond asks, do you like rotary engines and do you think they will make a comeback? I like rotary engines. I like rotary engines, yeah. I don't think they'll be making a comeback though. I mean, Mazda says they're working on something, but I don't know, I'm kind of skeptical. I like them because they're different. I'm all for diversity and weird, quirky things. Koalis says, my question, what game series you prefer, Forza or Gran Turismo? And congrats on 50k. Thank you, Gran Turismo, easiest choice of my life. Usere says, favorite Touhou song and favorite Touhou. Yes, I know you have the Touhou sort in the wall cave video, but has it changed? Surprised you remember the Touhou sort. I'm not sure if it's changed, to be honest. I have a weird image somewhere in my computer of it, but I don't even know if it's the same one. It's been a very long time since I've done a Touhou sort. Maybe I should make one. My favorite Touhou song is Shin Mimaru's theme, by the way. Inklings of the Shining Needle. Move It asks, where's the Fiat Seicento? Right now it's just parked somewhere outside of my house. Why do you ask? MacX says, congrats, Q&A 1. When will you become Takumi or Shingle? What the fuck? Hopefully never. Sega Speedstar 777 asks, what car do you enjoy the most in Gran Turismo 4? I'll tell you one thing, racing slow cars is some of the most fun you can have. I'm talking about Gran Turismo 4 online. Like, seriously, try joining a lobby with 6 people in a Honda Fit. Like, it's some of the most fun you can have, or like any other cup car. But I think the car I enjoy the most is the, oh yeah, the Toyota GT1. I love that thing to bits. Similar cars. I love the GT1, Group C, whatever, LMP1 cars in that game. They're so fun to drive on a wheel, you have no idea. They just stick to the floor and they don't let go. DS says, my favorite car is a 1971 Lamborghini Miura SV, which in my opinion is the best looking car in the world. It's a very good looking car, yeah. What do you think of this car and what is your favorite car in GT4 and in real life? Thanks for the cool videos, by the way. What do you think of this car? I think it's a beautiful car. I don't think it's the most beautiful Lamborghini though. To be very basic, I think the Countach is the best looking. And the Diablo is like a close second. The Miura is very beautiful. I'll give you that and I'm not denying it at all. But something weird that I dislike in the Miura, I know you people will hate me for this, but I don't really like the headlights. I don't know if it's just me, but it feels like they have like really long eyelashes, like those weird girls have sometimes. I don't know, it's just me, but yeah, I think it's kind of weird. The whole car is beautiful though, I'm just nitpicky about that. Favorite car on GT4, I just answered that. Real life, Gillette Vertigo. Joshua Warnock says, found your videos when I wanted to tune cars in Horizon 4. My question is this, would you consider drivetrain swapping cars to make them worse? For example, I turned a Lamborghini Gallardo Superleggera into the Balboni, which is rear-wheel drive, for more power in S1 class. I've had a few times where I did like swap an all-wheel drive to a rear-wheel drive, yeah, but it was mostly because I was trying to do something else, like you did, for example. You were trying to make the Balboni, so you swapped it to rear-wheel drive. I was trying to make, I don't know, a GTR race car from like Super GT. I swapped the R34 to rear-wheel drive. Stuff like that, it's, yeah, what I've done. Though I don't usually do that. A car enthusiast says, congrats on 50k. Question, do you think racing can still be fixed in the future Forza Horizon games? No. I'll be real with you, I have zero hope for this company. I personally think Playground Games is by far the most incompetent developer company I've seen. And I hold like zero hope for them. Like, you have to understand, these people don't even play their own game. How do you think they'll know what the issue is? You think they'll randomly come across my video and actually sit around to watch it? They won't. And they won't listen to the community either. I don't think it can be fixed. They don't need to fix it either. People will just buy it anyways. But yeah, with that said, I think that's all. I watched all the questions. I read all the questions. There's a few repeat ones that I didn't read. I'm sorry if your question didn't get featured, but I did ask to like have a quick look, if you didn't mind, to see if there was a question that you already asked. Thank you all for your cooperation. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. It's probably messy as hell, probably way too casual, not professional enough. It's just me rambling on for, oh dear, way too long. But yeah, hopefully it was nice to listen to. I hope you appreciate the casuality of this all. I kind of wanted to make it casual to make it seem like I'm not too far away from you guys. I'm sort of just talking with you. Apologies for any noise in the background. Like I said, I have two birds. I also have a phone which sometimes goes off and vibrates. Maybe you caught a glimpse of that. I don't know. With all that said, thank you again for 50k. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. And I'll see you all in my next video, which I've been working on, and I am honestly extremely excited to release for you guys. See ya.